All right. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And there's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Taza Pa. And the Wadi How Bashim Al Shai for blessing us with another opportunity to come forth and bring forth news, information, or as we would know it as prophecy. You see, which are the current events and the things that's foresaid to happen within the Holy Bible. You see, so we got a few things tonight. It's an open forum, so it ain't too much. As we always say, the Lord have it. Certain weeks you'll have a lot of information and major information. Certain weeks or days, it might not be so major, but at the end of the day, it all adds and lead to the fulfilling of prophecy. You see, but before we hop into it, other times, Paul, you have anything?
No, we can get right to it.
Come. So with that, we'll hop straight into it. And with this first one, as we notice, not just with the energy sector, but it's with all jobs that's we seeing as we seeing around America. You have a lot of layoffs happening. Whether it's for or because of AI, right, or a digital system. Or it's just because one companies ain't making money like that because people don't have money to spend. So we about to enter into even harder times and more people about to be affected. So we'll go ahead and play, which is a part of Bible prophecy for America specifically. We'll go ahead and play this real quick. Make sure it's on. All right, cool. Shalom Tala Akim Akwa through tuning in as well. Y'all Bashim Shabakatham.
Shalom.
So this from KHO 11 Houston News, put out 23 hours ago. Yep. The first comment said, "Whoa, that's a lot." And sadly, it's probably only the first among many. Well, of course. So but let's go ahead and play it.
I don't have any sound. I just can't hear it. I don't have any sound.
You said something?
Oh, shoot. Oh yeah, I couldn't hear nothing. I didn't know if you could hear me.
Oh, y'all can't hear it? Hmm.
Oh, nobody can hear.
Uh,
I thought it was just me. I couldn't hear nothing.
let's see. All right, let me know now then.
won't affect.
First
Okay.
tonight, ConocoPhillips.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good now.
Con.
Salakia.
First tonight, ConocoPhillips announcing plans to lay off up to 25% of its workforce.
It would impact thousands of jobs. The Houston-based oil giant making the announcement this afternoon. Let's get straight to Troy Kless, who is live outside ConocoPhillips headquarters in the Energy Corridor. Troy, a shocking number of layoffs here.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mia. Thousands of jobs will be affected. And here, ConocoPhillips, located right here off the Katy Freeway near Eldridge Parkway, is where that news coming out. Now, we spoke with our energy expert who says that ConocoPhillips is one of many companies that are making similar moves. Now, a company spokesperson told us today that ConocoPhillips is always looking at how it can be more efficient with the resources it has. The company estimates a 20 to 25% reduction in its global workforce that is expected to start this year, though it didn't specifically share where those cuts are taking place. I spoke with our energy expert, Ed Hers, and he says, in general, oil companies have had poor performance in the past few years. Oil prices are down, but operating costs haven't changed, he says.
Laying off about a quarter of the workforce, 3,200 employees, is really a draconian move. They had laid off hundreds when they acquired Marathon and, of course, sold the Marathon Tower. This is part of the retrenchment that's ongoing.
Hers says that similar big companies like Exxon and Chevron have announced layoffs earlier this year, although he says the layoffs likely won't affect prices that you pay at the pump. However, Hers says that it should send a signal to those who work within the oil and gas industry to begin networking. And it says that, looking at other opportunities may be best. Reporting live in the Energy Corridor, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
You had anything on that, Tazapar?
Yeah, just it's getting, it's getting to the point, it won't be no work. The doors are shutting in the streets, according to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, And here in Isaiah 19, chapter 19, verse 14, it says, the Lord had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. All right, now this Egypt is America. This is spiritual Egypt. And it's speaking about America, all right? The perverse spirit right now, and that has the most influence throughout the world, that's America. All right, and that perverse spirit in the form of this LGBTQ and all of the perversion and the sexual depravity that comes out of this place, that what the Most High had done. All right. But here's the point in verse 15. It says, neither shall there be any work but Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So, right, that's just the beginning of many. It's going to come to a point, it won't be any jobs. And if you're watching the economy and you're paying attention to what's going on, you see there's a systematic, all right, move by the elites, those that are running this earth, the wicked. All right, there's a systematic move to basically put everybody, put it like this, it'll be them and their, small little inner circle, and then everybody else. And they want everybody else under their control. All right, so that's no financial freedom, no freedom to move about, travel, no freedom to do anything. All right, and especially when you can't earn a living wage. All right, so right, the economy is crashing. On top of that, they're taking jobs. Inflation is through the roof because of they won't shut the printing presses down. All right, so they continue to print money. That's continuing to shoot inflation up. And the countries, they're not buying these treasuries anymore. So it all falls on the taxpayer, on the working man. All right. The next thing you know, you in the unemployment line. And then you go from there to the soup line. And then you go from there, because it ain't gonna be no soup line. You'll go straight to a concentration camp. All right. Because yeah, this is what they have planned and prepared for the masses of the people around the world. But here we're dealing with Egypt, it's talking about America. All right. So it's not any work. Well, the doors are closed. All right, it's getting slimmer and slimmer. But you got it out.
Yep. That's it. And even where we camp at, not just ConocoPhillips, but Chevron. It says Chevron has cut 575 jobs in the Houston area as well. And I don't know if you kind of notice it, but we literally right there by that building, and it have been less people that I've been seeing on Tuesdays and Fridays than when we first went out there. So I don't know if they some of the people who've been laid off or what, but I know it have been less people in and out that building when we over there.
Yep.
But
that storm, a lot of them work from home, so yeah, it's hard to tell, but yeah, it's definitely less traffic.
Yep. But and it's gonna be a lot more job cuts, and so the average person they may see these things and well, ain't my job. What's gonna come to your job? So
that's right.
But other than that, we can move on to the next portion of this open forum lesson. And these next couple articles go hit on again a forwarding of the MOTB system being set up around the people. Now we often hear different countries or smaller nations here and there that already started their digital ID, or they digital healthcare. Now it's getting closer to America, and America's allies are starting to get on board. Now you have Canada, the likes of the UK, so on and so forth. So we already know America next. I was just watching a video, and we played it on here a couple of times. Well, not this video that I'm talking about, but we played it that Trump said how America got to be the leader of the world in digital AI infrastructure. But the point is, if we seeing all these other nations going towards that way and already getting set up, and America telling you we have to be number one in it, what that mean? America going there too, and when they get ready to go there, which we seeing is going to be fast. They're going to move fast to catch up and surpass everybody. Right? So I'll read this a little bit. So this says from naturalnews.com, 9 put out September 2nd, 2 days ago. It says Alberta, right, which is a city in Canada. It says Alberta launches digital wallet for government IDs, raising privacy and future mandate concerns. Now, although it says Canada, but it's talking about a framework that's being set up. Just watch how these other nations are doing it, and that gives a blueprint to other nations who are about to get set up on how they can go about it. So it says Alberta launches digital wallet for government IDs, raising privacy and future mandate concerns. So eventually it's going to be mandated. It says Alberta has introduced the Alberta wallet, allowing residents to store and present identification documents, starting with health cards on their mobile devices, despite assurances of state-of-the-art encryption and privacy by design. Critics warn that digital ID systems could lead to broader surveillance and mandatory adoption, he calls of all, aligning with global trends towards centralized centralized digital identity frameworks. Going back to Chief Ephraim, everybody doing it is global. It said he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor. This is something that got to go upon the whole world. It says aligning with global trends toward centralized digital identity frameworks. It says while the digital wallet is currently optional, there is skepticism about its long-term voluntary nature. Similar initiatives in other countries have faced backlash over potential misuse for social credit style controls. And we know it's going to lead to that. It's going to be certain things you can't buy, certain things you can buy at a certain time. And if you don't, either your money could be taken or it could affect your credit score, your social credit score. And they say it's optional.
Yeah, don't think that's far-fetched what the brother is saying, because they're doing it already. And we ain't even got to digital money yet. We ain't even got to the mark yet. All right, they doing it with the EBT cards. And some of these other cards are now putting restrictions on your purchases, or if you purchase certain things, are penalizing certain of these bank cards. But definitely the EBTs, all right, Big Shirley can't get her donuts no more. And her little Debbie's and her Twinkies, because RFK cut all that shit out. All right. Like he was going to bring in, he was going to do all this big push for health. All right. And all he did was what? Implement more controls on what, and I mean, that's good. But Big Shirley should have the inclination of her own to say, I don't need this shit. And you see, all of this reprobatism is what got y'all to this point. Because you act like you can't govern your goddamn selves. And so this man gonna come in and govern you for you. And so no, you can't have that donut. And a whole bunch of other shit getting cut out too. All right. All this, enjoying. You see the electric bills going up, right? Right. All this staying up late and watching Netflix and whatever y'all do. Yeah, all that shit getting cut out. All right. You finna start seeing candles burn before they come in with the squeeze or the lower the booms, as they say. But yeah, people feeling the squeeze. They paying electric bills like rent. It's like paying 2 rents. Some people got $800 electric bills on top of a $200,000 mortgage. Or your rent might be $1,500, $1,200, $1,500. You in New York, your shit might be $5,000. Man, people, it's finna get crazy out here, man. These people losing jobs and got all this high shit they gotta pay. They wasn't just living in no regular homes working at ConocoPhillips. They out there in them suburbs and them, in them cookie cutter homes that they overpaying for. They charging $500,000, $750,000 for, and it's just a fucking cardboard cutout. But this is the life y'all want, though, right? It's just bullshit. I ain't never seen such bullshit than what these people going for right now. And still ain't even, for the most part, people don't have an issue until shit like that happens. You get laid off. Oh, now it's a problem. But go ahead,
It says the government plans to integrate the wallet with Apple and Google wallets, which raises additional privacy concerns. And critics warn that big tech's involvement could further erode privacy, despite assurances that users are in control of their data. And see, that's what we see in Trump had all those tech giants with him, because when they do this, they go link your everyday use of a phone. What your phone tell you, you've been on your phone 75%, on this app 75%, of the,
Right.
of the week. You use 75 hours of your phone this week or whatever. They already know. They'll link that with healthcare and your activity on social media. Everything will be tracked. It says Alberta's digital wallet is a part of a broader global movement towards digitized, centralized identity systems, often promoted by entities like the World Economic Forum, while touted as tools for efficiency and security. These systems raise significant questions about privacy, autonomy, and potential for surveillance. Yep. After I read this too, we can move on. It says Alberta has become the first Canadian province to introduce a government-backed digital wallet, allowing residents to store and present identification documents, starting with health cards on their wallet. So yeah, and then you got this one from the UK as well. From the UK put out yesterday, end time headlines: digital ID cards may soon be mandatory, distributed to all Britain. And they say at first it might be optional, but remember the mask was optional too with CV19. 6 foot was optional, then everything was mandatory. So
Yep.
it says every person in Britain could be forced to sign up for a digital ID card after Emmanuel Macron demanded action to tackle the scourge of illegal working. Sir Keir Starmer told the cabinet he would be exploring options around the concept as a part of a wider package of reforms designed to make it harder for illegal migrants to live and work here. It says Downing Street confirmed ministers are examining proposals for digital ID schemes 15 years after the ID was abandoned following an outcry about the impact of civil liberties. It says under one option, anyone applying for a new job will be required to produce the digital ID to demonstrate that they have a right to live and work in the UK. So they're taking it down. It says any public services. It says making a benefit claim or accessing public services. So to get around any federal buildings, government help, assistance, you're going to need that digital ID. So it's right there.
And with that, all right, come these data centers, which is the reason why everybody's electric bill is going up, because these data centers require huge amounts of power, all right? Because when you talk about, these digital wallets, all of this other stuff, getting into the MOTB, you need storage for all of this data. It runs off of info and algorithms, in which you need storage, all right? And so these data centers are going up everywhere. And in the video I did yesterday and today, a 2-part video, it was speaking about how, Blackstone is going around acquiring all of this land and everything. But the big push now is, to get this space for these data centers and the existing data centers that are already out there buying up, because they know what the next wave is going to be. And so the video pointed out one thing I thought was interesting, all right? And that is that they're building a kingdom, all right? A digital kingdom. And it's in the real world, but everything is to take place, in cyberspace, meaning you need storage in the real world, which means you need buildings and things like that. But everything is to actually happen within cyberspace, or, with this, the MOTB and everything. They ultimately want to get everybody into this, Esau has this weird fantasy of merging man with machine. All right. And that's his ultimate aim. That's his version of immortality, is to merge with technology. All right, but that's not what, that's not where it's going. This is where he thinks it's going. This is where he wants it to go. But the Most High is getting ready to upset this devil via Job chapter 20. And I'll grab that. But I want to make this point with them building this kingdom. And you see it's similar to how they do in the real world. You had you a house on the internet, a couple of houses, a YouTube channel, a Daily Motion channel. That was your little space. And then you built communities with like-minded individuals. And at first, because I was there with YouTube, it was all good, free exchange of ideas and everything, and it was all good. And then what happened? Google came in, the homeowners association. Then they start, at first it was quiet. Then you start seeing, well, community guidelines. Oh, you violated this. Oh, you violated, oh, that's a strike. Oh, your page is shut down. We're taking down your whole page. And it was never that from its inception, but it went from private to corporate. When Google bought it, that's when all this shit, that's what BlackRock is. So they come in, well, you had, some certain liberties, and then they buy up the block, and now they telling you, oh, well, we can't have this. Oh, you got to pay for that now. And oh, your rent was $1,500, now it's $2,500. Pray we don't make it $3,500. And they come in and do what they want. That's what they're doing in the cyber world. Now, where I'm going with this is this man is taking over. He wants complete control. It's happening under people's noses, and it's so subtle, they don't even understand this going on. And then they just willingly comply, just like the brother was saying. At first, yeah, it's optional before it becomes mandatory, and it always becomes mandatory. So now what do we have on the internet? You can hardly say anything. There is no longer a free exchange of thoughts and ideas. Everything is censored and neutered, watered down, sugar-coated. But this is where your life is going. This is where life is going. You're going to have to walk on eggshells. You ain't going to be able to say shit. You ain't going to be able to do shit. You ain't going nowhere. Travel is done. And so, hey, welcome to this dystopian nightmare that you all voted for. You got it. I'm going to get that Job.
Con. And matter of fact, I get this in Revelation 3. This Revelation 3:10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And we quickly come into the hour of temptation. When times get hard and everybody, your situation that you in, right? The lowest state that the Lord have you in, and your emotions, going wild, when you tempted and you need help, and the only help go come that you have that's tangible that you'll be able to see is from the government. But the only way to get it is if you take that RFID microchip, which is the MOTB. You see? But the thing is, that's when everybody go be tempted. Now it's not a specific hour, like a reservation, like you got something scheduled. Mine Tuesday at 6:30. When your hour is, or mine Friday at 5. Now it just gonna be from the day Jacob's trouble start until the day Yahushua come. Whatever situation a man in where he need help the most, and easily you can go to the troops over there, get that thing in you, the MOTB in you, you'll be all right. That's gonna be the temptation. Should I do it or should I not do it and just suffer and wait on the Lord? Everybody gonna be tempted, and that's the beauty of having trust in the Lord, because the people in the world don't know the Lord. Therefore, they gonna have no other option but going, taking their ass over there and getting it. Let's see. This I'm gonna read it again.
It's low.
Yeah, there you go. There's Revelation 3:10 again. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. This is the point, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is a worldwide event. The digital system is a worldwide event, you know. So to keep thee from it ain't just America, I don't know, Russia, right? No, everybody doing it. If you was really a watchman, you'll know it.
Right. Great temptations are coming to the world. Those temptations are tied to your flesh. This is why we were warned to put off the old man, to mortify our members, all right? To subdue this flesh, this carnal nature, Sirach, what is that, 10? Let's say put off now the weak nature. But right, that's because it's for the hour of temptation. So when that time comes, you're not looking back, you're looking forward. You're not in the mindset of Lot's wife. Oh man, I gotta eat. Oh, I gotta do this. You thinking, I can't wait to get to the kingdom. Let's get this shit over with. What the fuck are you waiting on? That's how you thinking when you done put off the flesh. But if you in the flesh, you got all these worries. Worries are, the enemy of man. Oh, what's that you got? That's it?
Come 2 Esdras 14.
14. Yeah, read it, right. Read
It says, 2 Esdras 14:14, let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, and put off now the weak nature.
The water. So right, read that one more time, Mike.
2 Esdras 14:14. It says, let go from thee mortal thoughts.
The mortal thoughts. Right, what I'm gonna eat. Mortal thoughts are your fleshly thoughts. What my children gonna do? Or what so-and-so gonna think of me? That's gonna be a lot of, for a lot of people, pride of life. I gotta keep my image up. You see? You gotta put off these mortal thoughts. Go ahead, brother.
It says, cast away the burdens of man, and put off now the weak nature.
Right, man has a dual nature, a fleshly nature and a spiritual nature. Guess which one is the weak nature? The fleshly nature, this carnal nature that we're in. That's the weak nature. Feed the spirit. So yeah, you had something else? That was it on it.
No, that was it on that one. I just had this last article really.
Oh, let me hit this right quick. Let me hit this Job 20. This is Job chapter 20, verse 15. He has swallowed down riches. All right. We talk about Blackstone, BlackRock, State Street, all these other, these mega conglomerates that operate throughout the world. They don't have any borders or boundaries. They're not bound to laws. All right. This is when you get into Psalm 73. They don't follow the rules that everybody else follows. They are not in trouble as other men. All right. So of course they've been going throughout the earth gobbling up riches. So here, Job chapter 20, verse 15, it says, he has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. Right, that's what he does. He hoards. He puts it in his vaults, his belly. give us this monopoly money, and then he restricts that. Now he's about to give you the digital monopoly money and heavily restrict that. All right. In verse 16, he shall suck the poison of asp. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for, he shall restore. So all of this he's doing to go around Habakkuk 2, heapeth unto himself all nations, all people, going around acquiring all the lands that are not his. He's going to restore that. All the gold, silver, cobalt, lithium, everything he done stole, he giving it all back. All right? That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. All right? The reparation, it says, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. All right. So yeah, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right, and that's the point I was making a while ago. The Most High is going to upset this man in the midst of his his rampage. All right, because he's getting ready to come down on us Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as a flood. But in the midst of that, the Most High is going to lift up a standard for certain brothers, give them spiritual powers to resist this devil. All right? And then the powers are going to be working against this man. The same way you can't get a business going, should be the powers, the principalities working against you on top of this oppressive system that we in. You can't catch a break. That's where Esau about to be. Where ain't nothing working for him. That's why in Isaiah 47 it's going to say, stand now with thine enchantments. Because the Most High is going to take all of his mojo from him. Ain't nothing going to be working for this devil. And so, right, he gonna find himself in straits. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. And then every hand of the wicked, those who suffered by the oppression of this devil, first and foremost, again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who, sustain this man and his system, let's tell it how it is. This shit is running off all blood, sweat, and tears. And when I say shit, I'm talking about this man's system. It's running off of you jakes. And so when y'all come up against this devil, it's done. Yeah, he gonna fight back, but he's through. He's done. And he gonna take a lot of y'all with him. But this shit is done. Then here come the heavenly host. And once they get in on it, it's a wrap. But yeah, that was the point that in the midst of all of this, where he think he really doing it, the Most High gonna tell him, look, you ain't doing nothing, and shut him down. But you got it out.
That's it. And that's why he going to the list of needing to have eyes everywhere. Esau nervous.
Your pop.
When you're a fugitive and you feel those walls closing in, you get paranoid. You know, you get all
Man,
nervous. You know, you start doing the most, and then you doing the most gonna lead to you getting caught, and that's exactly what Esau at. You know, and matter of fact, I ain't gonna read this because we could end it, but this another one came out 3 days ago. It says the digital panopticon, and I looked up the word panopticon. It says a circular prison
mm,
with cells arranged around a central well, centralized, right? CBDC, central bank. But it says panopticon, a central
mm.
prison with cells arranged around a central well from which prisoners could at all times be observed. And that's a
Watch
new
it.
word. That's the new word, panopticon.
Panopticon.
And see, there's an image of it. So in the middle, all people could be,
Mhm.
all prisoners could be observed. That's what Esau setting up, a panopticon. You see, so he can monitor everybody. He want to be the most high, but again, as the scriptures say, once he
But
try
look,
that, it's gonna come crashing down. You know, but that
but look,
was
no, but just right on that, you can't watch all them goddamn cameras.
mm-mm.
But that's why they need the data centers. I didn't even mention that aspect, but the surveillance and the cameras. They need that. They got to record it. So therefore, they need the space. So yeah, all of this, man, we it's got to come to this point. But man, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, that these scriptures are real. And everybody in the world better be glad these scriptures are real. Everybody that mocked and scoffed, everybody that talked their shit, you better be glad these scriptures are real. And the Most High getting ready to show you. For us with the eye salve, we already seeing it. We see it. This shit is horrible. What they got coming and wanting to do. Hey, but yeah, like I said, y'all voted for it. Y'all voted for it. Now Esau was gonna do it anyway, but that makes it worse because you voted for this shit. He was gonna do it. He gonna do it anyway. But damn, you ain't have to get a man your vote. And we tried to tell y'all. So y'all complicit. Y'all ain't got shit to say. Everybody went to the polls. I don't care who you voted for. You complicit in this shit. That's why judgment is coming to America. Nobody's thinking logically. Nobody's applying reason. For the most part, people don't even they don't care what's going on. Oh, I don't even watch the news. It's just too bad. It's too horrible. I don't even watch it. Well, what's getting ready to happen to you is going to be far worse than anything you can see on the news. And you don't even know that right now. Because you'd rather dwell in your ignorance. And that's fine. But y'all seem to think that ignorance don't come with a price. Ignorance comes with a price. And I'm going to go out with this. The diligence, that comes with a payout. Being diligent comes with a payout. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. So the man that fears the Lord and makes that fear his treasure, he's acquiring all the wisdom, all of the knowledge that he can regarding the Most High, his only begotten Son, as well as salvation, because he knows unstable times are coming. So, hey, why do you think Isaiah 4, beginning at 1, said what it says? because the man that's calm and stable in the midst of a storm, I guarantee you, all of them standards go out the door that these women talk about. You could be 4'5", but you calm in the midst of a storm, you could be bald headed. You could be pot belly. But she see you calm in the midst of the storm, and you just cool, taking care of your business, and the whole world is falling apart. You know how you look in the eyes of these people? Right. But that's why Isaiah 4:1 says what it says, because, right, the man of the Lord is going to become a treasure in himself, through the knowledge and wisdom and the diligence and obedience that he showed toward this work, this truth. In doing the will of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. So, that's that, brother. You got it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We can end it right there. This was a short one today. Had a couple of things to touch on below. When this information was edifying, all of it, add and lead, to major prophecy being fulfilled. So you just keep your eyes out, stay posted, and continue to watch the apostles, elders, and Akim, who are pushing out this news, man, on a daily basis. But with that, we're going to end it off, with that. One more. Once again, we'll give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them. And as peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. Keep fighting, keep pushing, and we're almost out of here.
Right.
With that, shalom.
Hey, shalom. Yeah, brother, shit.